Yeah. Yeah, man. After hearing this guy, man, earlier on Alex Jones, man, and he was saying he used this like key word, man. He used he basically he said crackhead, meth head, and when he at the same time when he was talking about the shooter, which is potentially a false flag op drill in the fucking first place. So now it seems like they're jumping out targeting non-related parties. And I mean, when prohibition is all about making things, when you make things illegal, you therefore increase the profitability by selling them. And a great example is you just go look at the fucking prohibition times with alcohol and how all the crime that it caused. But it also allowed them to make groups like the FBI to go after criminals that they created by passing the legislature. That makes it profitable to become a criminal. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You make criminals, you make it profitable to be a criminal by making things illegal. You know what I'm saying? It's like in Amsterdam, for instance, dude. Listen, drugs are legal. I mean, my personal belief is, listen, whatever you put in your body, that's your business. Is it right or is it wrong? It depends on the circumstance. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it's okay, man. Listen, if someone's sick and they need medical things to help them either kill pain or whatever, psychological trauma. Psychological trauma is painful. You know what I'm saying? And if you're faced with a slow death situation, you're going to have physical pain, mental pain. And, or even like, say, people who break their back. You hear about them getting addicted to Vicodin and having to go to heroin. Now look at that person. Is that person there a fucking piece of shit, scum of the earth, man? Say it was a fucking governor's daughter, or you know what I'm saying, for instance. Because this shit happens to high profile people. It's just, if you got enough money, they keep it out of the tabloids. You know what I'm saying, basically. But no, dude, listen, I've already explained this before. How it's well known that high profile people get to treat themselves with a high drug diet like cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Like how many people have alleged to dabbled in some cocainery, like Eric Clapton, cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly Bill Clinton has a nose like a 2-car garage. That's what a dude got caught saying on wire. You know what I'm saying? He was getting wired by the damn boys, and that's what he was talking about. He was just blabbing. But I mean, it's bad, but it's not uncommon is what I mean. And you're not just the scum of the earth because, you know, you had a drug problem, or you know what I'm saying? And people act like that. Like, listen, not everyone who does drugs in my book is a full-fledged fucking junkie, like a rock monster, scum of the earth, a person who will sell you their baby. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, and look, all kinds of high-profile people are selling their fucking baby body parts, dude. I mean, this is fucking just come out. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, the drug war has always been used to target minorities. Let me give you a few examples. We have the CIA has been implicated in cocaine from the fucking beginning when crack started. Supposedly the government released crack out to the streets and got them going on it, man, because they needed something. They needed a boogeyman, dude. They needed someone to chase around. And here's the thing. I mean, listen, I'm not saying drug addicts are good, because it's very bad. And it's even worse the way how predatory our system is designed, where They like to keep prisons full of people, and with these addicts, it keeps this prison industrial complex going, and that's why the shit was all designed this way. That it's a problem that you can never fix, you can never solve it, and you don't want it solved. You like it to keep going because it keeps all your people working and running on this fucking rat wheel, and it also keeps the people that fall victim to the fucking game itself, because they fall victim to the fucking game. And then once again, people love to blame the victims, but not the victimizer. Okay, if you want to demonize this group of people, well then demonize everyone, all the co-conspirators as well. Like the people like when Mark Dice said that there was the secret meeting that changed hip hop, where basically there was a fucking meeting of people like high level exec corporatist types that sat in a room and said, listen, we are going to hire more violent rappers, so they encourage crime and they normalize crime, so that we can keep the prisons that we own fucking more full of fucking inmates. I mean, this is the fucking diabolical schemes that these people do. And like I said, I'm not defending like drugs. I know they're if there's a purpose for them, it's more towards evil than it is for medicinal in these days, in these ages. That's one of the reasons why you see things like pills prescribed by the doctor, Big Pharma, so everywhere. Like they're giving 7-year-olds like mega doses of speed for their ADHD medicine. So I mean, you're creating a fucking a chemically accepting future generation anyway. They're gonna go straight to the streets, just like the people on the farmies go to the H, which is being fucking protected by soldiers in Afghanistan. It's being protected by American soldiers in Afghanistan. And then people are gonna make statements like that, like the meth heads and the fucking crack heads and the heroin addicts are just waiting to jump out of a tree and you know what I'm saying, extort you for some change, man, or something, dude. And it just ain't like that. Like they're out there just like they're fucking just looking for some soldier recruits to get in a confrontation with. That is fucking bullcrap. A lot of them guys have their own habits as well, man. I mean, I could see that happening now. Like a dude trying, shit happening, but that's just normal. That's not, that's just life. And here's the thing, blaming the victim, but not the victimizer, dude. Listen, and another thing, you got to understand this. You look at the Huxley effect, man. And he was talking about how, him, Timothy Leary, and other guys were working on trying to find the perfect drug cocktail to make people, put them in a mind control state where they were happy and they could maintain and endure the servitude. And they would put up with shit that they just normally couldn't put up with because it was that bad that you need the chemicals to dull the fact that your life sucks that bad, that the system sucks. Because he talked about it's not being your own choice, that the system was sucked by culture engineers, man, fucking social engineers from eugenicists. That's what I was going to go to right here. Listen, in Nazi Germany, don't you know? This is the same way they started off. They started villainizing groups like the far out guys. First, they're going to say meth heads, crack heads, and heroin addicts. Then, you guys are going to consent. Yeah, throw them in camps, throw them in the camps. And look, then they're going to smoke them motherfuckers, man. And then next thing you know, they're going to say, well, now we got to get the potheads. And then you're going to be like, oh, man, my fucking grandpa smokes pot. He's got cataracts. It doesn't matter. He gets vaporized. Now there's no more potheads. Now they're going to say, hey, oh, you smoke cigarettes. You're hurting the Aryan bloodline. And then they have you vaporized. And then they feed you to the slave worker class, the genetically modified human Z sheep, reptilian, quarter reptilian, fucking Manchurian, basically, worker class. I mean, man, this is basically how this stuff rolls, and it seems like a lot of people are playing right into that, man, because you're not addressing the fact that there has been a targeted on minorities through the drug war. You know what I'm saying? That is not debatable. That's not theoretical. That's fucking factual. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is bullshit. I'm not going to say it's totally bullshit, but a lot of it's bullshit and it's fucking political. And I'm sick of people contributing to the psyop. Like the ancient psyop, man. The psyop that it's a good thing and they're doing it for the right reasons. When they're not. They're doing it because it's fucking profitable. That's the reason why it's still going on. In like places like Amsterdam, there is no fucking big super crime because people over there, they're not targeted and then exploited and oppressed and smoked and fucking murdered, basically, and fucking trafficked their souls. And if you get hooked over there, you can go to the fucking, just to a hospital and be like, look, man, I'm breaking down. I've been doing drugs too long. And they will fucking snap you out of it. And they won't treat you like the scum of the damn earth. And then you ain't got to worry about being fucking vaporized right away. I mean, you know, and it's a better system. And it doesn't, listen, it gets rid of corrupt cops. It gets rid of Al Capones. And it also keeps people from having to hide their addictions. You know what I'm saying? They can come out of the fucking shadow and then you can see if they have a problem. You'll know. You know what I'm saying? How bad the problem is if they don't have to feel like they have to hide like they're going to be fucking persecuted and burned at the fucking stake like you do over here in America. They catch you with a little bit of dope. You're just dabbling, whatever the case is. Or maybe you're fucking you're just full-fledged. You bit off too much. Now you can't shake it, man. And you need it every day. I ain't never been there to where it's like, look, it's like that. But I know people who have, man. They just, you know, it's kind of like, I think I heard something where it's talking about, hey, in the beginning, it's sweet. But in the end, it's bitter. And these are these things. You can see how they used heroin on, or opium on the Viet Cong. Or not the Viet Cong, the Chinese that built the railroads, and then they took that money to make like Yale University. You can see how the CIA brought in cocaine in the 80s, and then, you know, all the havoc I seen that reap through. That wasn't terrorism. You know what I'm saying? That was just business as usual. And, you know, you see how they gave the Indian the damn alcohol. You know what I'm saying? That's an ancient form of this destabilization. At the same time, they were selling opium over there to the Chinese. You know, and then in the present, they did the cocaine. And the heroin, this ain't nothing new. This was going on in the 70s. Nixon put it on a high target list, and then the price went way up. You know, and here we are dealing with it now. You know, you see the CIA was the ones actually selling the LSD through the 70s and 80s because it was part of MK Ultra, and they would like fucking have hookers dose people with LSD, you know what I'm saying? And then they would fucking have scientists watching what happened, like and then, you know, they were doing social experiments with it. I mean, I'm just saying that shit is more important than trying to target people that aren't responsible. Since when are drug addicts? They're trying to equate being a dope addict with being a terrorist again. And it's not true. That ain't fucking true. It's like, listen, let terrorists be terrorists and drug addicts be drug addicts. Crime be crime. Let terrorism be terrorism, man. And it's like these people are playing into this. You don't see it now, but I can see them already villainizing this group. And once people join into that, it's a fucking chain effect. They're like, well, if we can get them, we can get them. And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and more oppressive. It's you got to see, man, you just got to look at all the fucking, at a whole matter. And it's like, listen, like I said, I'm not defending the destructive force of the dope game. But you got to admit that Huxley wanted it this way. They want it this way. They need it this way. They need this scarecrow. And they exploit it and oppress people with it. And they blame the victim when they're causing the fucking problem, man. It's like, you know, you can't get away from that fucking fact. So, I mean, you gotta If you're going to look at one, look at the other. Look at the whole problem, not just the little symptom.